Hello, Gemini. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Late Seer's Tarot by Chris Ann, Supportive Oracle Cards, Magical Spell Cards by Lucy Cavendish, illustrated by Jesse Reisch. Reisch is spelled R-E-I-S-C-H. Hiccups not included. Okay. Alright, well, let's get there first before we get too excited. I'm already excited for you, though. Like, what's going on with this? Yeah, the ending... okay. There's two cards. One. Two, one. Okay. What's coming forward for you? This is a situation that I feel like is very in depth. There's a lot of work going on here. A lot of people deciding what they want. Everybody wants what they want, and they're going forward for what they want. They're pushing forward. They want this. They want that. And there's a lot of energy going forward towards this. Okay, we got to work on this. Okay, we got to work on that. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Energy, energy, energy. Do this. Do this. Do this. And I'm getting like you're keeping up with it. You're keeping up with the Joneses, or whatever you want to say. Keeping up with the Kardashians, if you will. Whatever works for you. It's just a situation that just keeps going. This isn't your ideal thing at this point, but you do like a lot of it. I'm getting there's so much going on here. It does keep you connected. There's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. It's weird because I feel like it's kind of aggravating in pieces, but there's so much diversity that it keeps you engaged. So there's so much going on, but like it's like there's a lot of it. Like there's a lot of points of contention, and there's constantly trying to get it to come together in a different way, but it's not seeming to work out at this point to get it to go the way you want. It's a little over-structured. It's a little over-structured. Although you got that Queen of Cups, I feel like you're keeping it to yourself. That you don't... There's a lot of this. I feel like I keep getting it. They're not letting me get around it. Even though there's a lot of different things happening, you're not really a big fan of it. I keep getting that. But the Queen of Cups is telling me you're keeping that to yourself. The reason you're keeping that to yourself is because it's working out for you. There's a structure here that's a little bit more than you'd like, but it is working out in your favor. You got health here. You're being taken care of. Even if you don't like exactly how this is working out, it works out well enough. I don't know. I feel like I'm looking at something and I'm just like, it's not what I'm looking at. I'm not happy with it. I feel like I'm making sure things work out, and I keep having to do that, and I don't like it. You seem to keep having to catch the ball. But then it's like other people don't realize that you're catching the ball. And it's kind of like, really? It's one of those things. But it's working. And it's kind of like, yeah, but they're taking care of me, so I guess it's all right. Face down card is the Five of Wands. Now, how is this coming in? I feel like you're going to hit your point. You're going to hit your limit with this. This is not something you're planning on. This was face down. You don't want problems here. That 5 feeling. This just isn't working. The energy is just not linking up correctly, is what I'm feeling. Like, you're kind of like, you've had it. I feel like you've had it. Maybe it's very structured, maybe it's very organized, and it's very, very dependable. And it's good for you, it's been working for you, but I feel like you're having a moment here where you just can't stand it anymore. Are you having a flip out or something? I don't think that. You're making up your mind that you just can't do this anymore. I'm getting at this point, whatever the situation is, you're just like, I can't do this anymore. I just can't. And it's face down. It's kind of like you're hitting this wall. It feels like you're hitting this wall and you're just like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. And you decide you have to go somewhere else. It's really strong. It happens really fast. You hit this brick wall and you're just like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't. Very strong, freaked out feeling to me. Is this internal? No, I mean, you're going to take action on this. You're literally going to take action on this. You're like, I have to change the circumstances here. I can't do this anymore. And I'm trying to get a hold of it because I feel like I'm shell-shocked when it happens. It's just like, nobody else did anything to me. It's just like, I just finally can't do it anymore. I just hit my limit. I just can't do it anymore. That's it. Done. You got the Ten of Wands coming in with the High Priestess, and what's the last one? The Four of Pentacles. You're biding your time, but you're looking. Whatever you have to do, you're like, I got to change these circumstances. You've got the Ten of Wands, like this is very stressful for you to do this, but you're like, you feel like you have no choice. It's kind of like, you're not choosing to make things different. You have to make things different. You just can't do it anymore. You're just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't stand this anymore. I just cannot. The High Priestess is kind of like the balance. Like, I'm keeping it very close to my chest. I feel like you're keeping it very personal in the sense of like, whatever the situation is, you know you're done. I don't think other people know you're done. You're done, and you know you're done. But you're kind of like, you're going through the motions. You're doing what you have to do. And you're keeping it to yourself with the Four of Pentacles. You're just like, I'm done. They don't know I'm done, but I'm done. You bring forward something else. It seems like it's going to be hard to change at first. And at first you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do or where I'm going to go, but I got to find something. And the first step to finding something is to start looking. And you do. You have no problem with that is what I'm getting. Looking at possibilities is not a problem. So you're out there looking through possibilities. You're searching through these possibilities. It says imagination, but I'm like, I feel like at first, I'm looking out into cold, wintry night, and I don't see anything out there. And I'm just like, I don't even know what I'm going to do, but I got to get out there and look if I'm going to have a chance, and I can't stand this anymore. And what do you find? You find fertility. You find what you need. You find what you need. It's all about how you're going to make it happen after that. The confidence comes in because I feel like that this is an issue. You're going to make this big change, and you're just like, I'm going to make a change that's good for me. Doesn't matter if it's good for somebody else. It has to be good for me, and I found it. I'm going to make it. And then just the confidence to carry out the action. It's the confidence to carry out the action. Like, you've already made up your mind that you're done. It's kind of like you had to search it out and you found it. Confidence comes in here. How long before you claim it? Because I'm getting the King of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Fool. You got to make your plan and then start executing it. This is thought. This is strategy sometimes. This is very much strategy. How do you want it to play out? What do you need to do to make it play out the way you want it to? Once you do it, you've got to put that first ball into play. And you might have to be very careful to not let somebody else know you have another ball waiting for you. So whatever you did to change your circumstances, shutting down the old one may be something that's kept to itself. Like if you're leaving one thing, going to something else, the new thing maybe doesn't need to be known. Like whatever you're leaving, they don't need to know where you're going next. That's just, you might have to play it kind of cool that way. Maybe that's a better way to do it is what I'm also getting. Just kind of like, it doesn't matter where you're going next. The point is you're done here. The point is I'm done here. Like if for example, if we're going to use like a job analogy, I'm not working here anymore. And they're like, well, where are you going next? That doesn't matter. I'm just not working here anymore. I don't want to talk about where I'm going next. I'm just not going to bring that forward. You know? Or maybe I'm going to be like, well, I'm just going to take some time for myself and figure out my next move. That might be the better way to say it. Like, I have some things, I have some money, I'm going to work on that. I'm just done for this for now. And I need to walk away. And then just kind of moving on to the future with the Fool card. Again, they don't need to know where you're going. I keep feeling like whatever you're leaving, they don't need to know where you're going. I don't know why that seems so important. Be careful with that. Take that with a grain of salt. But like, unless it's really important for them to know where you're going, I don't see the point in sharing that. Because I feel like the Fool card is saying, let them wonder. And leave it. Just leave it. By doing that, I feel like you leave this energy in the past, because that's where you want it to stay anyway. When you do it that way, you get good cheer and strength. I feel like leaving the past in the past does become a challenge, because I constantly want to leave the past in the past. I don't want to connect the future to the past. I don't want to connect the past to the future. I don't want, like, where you're going next. I'm also getting where you're going next. You don't want to talk about where you've been. It just doesn't need, because I feel like that needs to simmer down and it needs to shut down on its own. Let it just be done. I just feel like I'm going to minimize that. Kind of like, yeah, I did some things and then it ran its course and I was done with it. I don't want to talk about it very much. I just want to leave it in the past. It does seem to take some strength to keep it there, though. You don't want to talk about the past. I keep getting, not when it's new anyway. Because I feel like there's a lot of good things here. We don't want to bring in any past energy. We don't want to bring that in at all. I'm getting you have a lot of victory and a lot of things coming in the next situation. We just don't want to bring the past into it. I keep getting that. Leave the past in the past. Because I feel like if you bring in the past, it's almost like somebody's making a decision about you, or they're trying to make assumptions about you that they don't understand what something was. So just leave it in the past. And just don't let them know about it. I just feel like that's just better. Less is more. I just feel like it's strange that I keep saying it, but I keep saying it. Because I see them with this Magician card, like, things are going to come from that. If you start giving information from the past, it's going to create something in your future that you don't really want. It's kind of like, no. It's almost like if you say I did this job at that last company and you don't want to do that job anymore, they're going to be like, oh, you know how to do that. Well, let's have you do that again. And that's not what you want. So especially if it's something you didn't like doing, just don't talk about it. Talk about what you liked doing, not what you didn't like doing. Because I feel like it'll come back in. You don't want that. We don't need that. You know what I mean? You didn't leave that situation just to repeat it somewhere else. So don't even talk about it. Just talk about, oh, I used to sort the beans and I loved the beans. Maybe you did. But you don't want to talk about, I used to have to pick up the beans from this person across the street and I hated picking up the beans. They're going to be like, but you know how to pick up the beans? Well, yeah, I know how to do it, but I didn't like it. Yeah, but you know how to do it, so guess what? You're doing it again. Don't even allude that you know how to do it. Talk about the things you liked doing. I used to paint the beans. It was great painting beans and then putting them on this picture to make a certain thing. I used to love that. Picking up the beans? I don't know about that. Like, well, if they ask you, like, did you ever pick up the beans? Well, what do you mean pick up the beans? Like, how do you do that? Like, what are you talking about? Can you walk me through that? Like, I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. If you didn't want to do it, you didn't like doing it, don't admit that you know how to do it. You got victory coming in this next situation with the Four of Wands. However you lock into this next situation, it seems like it's going to be your role for a while. Just make sure it's a role that suits you and don't let them know you know how to do things that you don't want to do again. I'm getting that over and over again. If you didn't like doing something before, just don't even allude that you know how to do it. Just don't even, because if they think you don't know how to do it, they won't consider you for it. That's all I'm saying. Are we good? Good. I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.